This is going to be a short review about the ocean floor features. So we're going to start out over here on the continent. The part of the continent that sticks out into the ocean, what we call the beach, the water that we like to play in, is called the Continental Shelf. Okay, Continental Shelf. Then the Continental Shelf, at the edge of it, it drops down deeper into the ocean, and we call that the Continental Slope. The Continental Slope. Okay. Off the beach, off the east coast of the United States, as the continental slope drops down, it comes to what we call the Abyssal Plain. Very, very deep part of the ocean, deep. It is often called the flattest place on Earth because it's flattened out by millions of years of sediment drifting down from the other parts of the ocean from the surface. Okay, as we continue going, we come to what we call the mid-ocean ridge. Now, the mid-ocean ridge is the world's longest chain of mountains. It's something like over 40,000 miles long. And it's happening where the two plates in the ocean are splitting apart. And we call it a divergent boundary. A divergent boundary. Right down the middle of the mid-ocean ridge is what we call the Rift Valley. The Rift Valley. It's like it's being ripped apart, so it's a play on words, ripped and rift. So the mid-ocean ridge is the whole thing, and then the Rift Valley is down the middle of it. And that's where the ocean floor splits open and magma comes oozing up from the mantle to fill in that crust. Okay. Then we come to something called seamounts. Seamounts are underwater, completely underwater. They could be formed either by upheaval of some sort, but they're generally extinct volcanoes. But the point is they're completely underwater. Sometimes a seamount can get so tall that it sticks up above the water, and it may be a volcano. Usually it's an extinct volcano, and there'd be what we would call an island. An island. It would have trees and plants and animals and things living on it. So an island is a seamount that sticks up above the ocean floor. Sometimes these seamounts can be so ancient, these islands can be so ancient, that the tops could have actually be rounded off and ground down by the wave action, and we call that a geo. A geo. A geo is a seamount whose top has been completely ground down by the wave action. Then we also have a deep sea trench. A deep sea trench is the deepest place in the ocean, deepest hole on our planet. And it's caused by a convergent boundary where one plate's moving this direction, one plate's moving this direction, and this one goes down so deep that it drags it down with it, creating a deep, deep hole in the ocean. All right, so Continental Shelf, Continental Slope, Abyssal Plain, Mid-Ocean Ridge with a Rift Valley down the middle of it, seamounts, tall seamount that sticks up above the ocean is called an island. A seamount that's been washed down and worn down by waves is called a geo. Okay, so altogether from here to here, this whole place that's filled up with water, that's full of the salt water that actually makes up the ocean, what do we call that? The ocean basin. Okay, the ocean basin. Now, one last thing. We got Continental Shelf, Continental Slope, Abyssal Plain, and these Abyssal Plains probably take up the biggest part of the ocean altogether. Okay, so go back and review this again if you need to, but I hope you got this information.